Alright, theories of creation. When you study the mythologies of ancient civilizations, you realize they are all designed by the same blueprint. It seems, anyway. I'm not going to say this is a total scientific fact, but in the physical, we find duality on all levels, especially in the pantheons of creational forces linked to one another. We find patterns of creation and destruction repeating in the cycles of time, embracing the human experience. Designing the gods and goddesses falls into the same categories of duality. Good and bad, light and darkness, forever seeking balance and the return to full consciousness. And if you remember, I mentioned on earlier shows this return to full consciousness. What they are talking about is the fifth dimension. Humanity was created as a fifth dimensional being. And I mean, according to a lot of occultism and stuff like that, but and so, yeah, according to a lot of these guys' theories, humanity did not even actually start noticing there was a duality until we were kicked out of the fifth dimension and into a third dimensional reality. That's when we started noticing good and bad, light and darkness, black and white, what have you. So always we find gods who come from the sky, which is interesting to think about. And those that came from the sea of creation, from the waters. Yeah, this is just an intro. I know you're probably wanting me to expound on the waters above the firmament, the waters below the firmament, but this is just an intro, so we will cover this all within the next week, I do believe. So, their creation myths speak to us about a beginning and an end for Earth, giving rise to something greater. We are reaching the end of the current programmed experience. I mentioned this on a couple shows as well, that a lot of these New Age types believe that the time has come, that we are ascending back into the fifth dimension, which is where humanity originally comes from. And when we got kicked out of paradise, when we got kicked out of the Garden of Eden, that was just a metaphor for getting kicked out of the fifth dimension. In other words, we were separated from God and from other people as well. We were kicked into the third dimension. That's when we started noticing polarity and good and evil, bad and good, black and white, and me and you. That's when we started experiencing separateness. So, a lot of people would claim that nowadays that reality is a holographic projection, and that like I've mentioned before, yeah, the eye is the human eyeball is a very limited organ. It used to be a common saying, seeing is believing, but nowadays it's been scientifically and mathematically proven that there are at least 11 dimensions, of which we only see one of them, the third dimension. And I guess we can perceive the second and first dimension as well, but we exist in a third dimensional reality. So nowadays the saying seeing is believing is not true. So who are these gods that came from the sky, these angels that came from the sky? Who are these fallen ones? Is this all myth, math, metaphor? Is this all just pie in the sky bullshit? Well, let's talk about it. We got like 6 more minutes left tonight, but like I said, we'll be tackling this the whole week. yeah, I was thinking maybe it would be like a one night show, but yeah, this topic gets really complex. So, as we search to find the truth behind the illusion, who created the human race, or some would claim that we are just a biogenetic experiment. Uh, we look to those who came from the stars, whether you want to say they're aliens or they're angels or they're gods, whatever. Um, it seems like throughout the world's religions, there's a constant theme. These beings came from the stars, and there are progenitors, our creators, ancient astronauts, creational gods. I mean, all this theory. It's virtual reality. I can't bring up a fucking alien on a platter and show him to you. I mean, I wish I could, but um, for the most part, none of this will be provable. And like I said, don't believe me. Do your own research and use your discernment. Use your gut. Use the good sense God gave you, and come up with your own answers. Most of us would love to find evidence of ancient astronauts. And many would claim that there's tons of evidence out there that would support the theory that there are ancient astronauts. Once again, I don't know. I mean, you know, I've never seen an ancient astronaut. I've never seen a UFO. I have had an experience of missing time, and it's really fortuitous that Tony's here with me tonight, because he was there. We both, and there was one other guy. And we, all three of us, had an experience of missing time. We all lost an hour and a half. I won't go into the whole story, but we lost about, what, an hour and a half of time. And it was like all of a sudden we all woke up at once. And we were in a car driving down the highway of all places. But I woke up. I'll save that for another night. That'll be a teaser. But yeah. I brought this. Yeah, I'm glad you're here tonight, because I've actually brought this up a couple other times. It's like, my buddy Tony was there, but you know, it's like, but yeah. So I have a little bit of corroboration. If only we could dig up Jared Ferris. Jared, if you're listening, give us a call. Yeah. So, yeah, we've since lost track of him. But anyway, as we search to find the truth behind the illusion, who created the human race or the biogenetic experiment, we look to the stars. And theories about Atlantis often link sightings of ancient astronauts to Atlantean spaceships. I spent a great deal of time on that on like the first couple weeks of my show. And I guess I would say I recommend go back and listen to it, but to an extent not, because the first couple weeks was pretty rough. The first couple of weeks I was doing this show, and I had a horrible internet connection, and you know, it was. But you know, if you're really dying to hear the stories, go back and listen to it. I mean, I did have a lot of listenership throughout that period, so I guess a lot of people thought they were really listening to underground radio or something. But you know, and we are, you know, this is underground radio, so I mean. Let's face it, this is not ABC or whatever, but or Clear Channel. So, yeah, another name for these ancient gods is the Zep-Tepi. I guess that's a Greek name. I wrote a few notes on these guys. I forgot what I wrote, though. I'd like to check it out real fast. The Zep-Tepi. Alright, along with a list of mythological gods we find encoded in the grid stories of the creation of the human experiment, we also find the Zep-Tepi. That's yeah, I highly recommend you guys look these guys up. It's Zeptepi. As with all legends, this is metaphoric in content. Okay, it's a metaphorical legend. And there's a connection between these guys and the Atlantean grid. Okay, no, I'm going to be getting more into this on another, because this has to do with holograms and how a lot of people think we're just sort of in a holographic projection right now. This is all some sort of computer program. Have you heard this theory before, Tone?
No, I haven't.
Well, you saw The Matrix, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so they just kind of claim that this is all just a big. That movie was. I mean, the whole plot of the movie was it was just like, this is all a big holographic projection.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, yeah, this where this could, yeah, and those guys were I mean, they made a kick-ass movie. Yeah, I mean, but yeah, that's not necessarily an original theory. That's actually been brought up before, but and anyway, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we're almost out of time, but shoot. All right. Well, with that, ladies and gentlemen, I think we're just going to go ahead and end the show. And I want to thank you all for joining us tonight. And once again, Tony, you got any plugs? You going to be playing anywhere soon? You got
over here.
Yeah, yeah, we're going to be doing the show over here. We're going to be doing the guest host thing, and we'll be here tomorrow night. We're going to be at 6:30 p.m. Central to 8:30 p.m. Central. We're going to be talking about ancient astronauts. We're going to tackle this fucking theory, and we're going to be doing it all fucking week, man. Yeah. Ancient astronauts. Yes. All right, but anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in tonight, and I really appreciate it. Keep those comments coming on YouTube. I love it, and y'all have a good night. Awesome.
So does that Tepe, is that a theory or is that the?
I don't know. I was totally just like acting like I knew, but it's no. I have the site right here, but I mean, yeah. From what I gathered, yeah, it's Zep Tepe is another one. I think they're saying that that's a kind of program that was created back in Atlantis. A holographic program. Oh shit, we're still on it. YouTube guys, night. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.